Let's see if everything is working all right. Nice, I think we're up. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Modular Mayhem. Let me boost this microphone a little bit. I can take it down here. Yeah, that's good. Right on. So, my apologies for the very late announcement, and also my apologies for the delay. First one, I actually thought that I'd already announced this one, where I'd already made the stream link, but turns out I hadn't done that. Usually I try to get the stream link up way in advance, but this time I completely forgot about it. And also, I'm terribly sorry for the timing. I'm 1 hour late, which is unacceptable were it not for the fact that I was outside. And yeah, lately with the way the weather is and stuff like that, I really feel like I deserve a bit more outside time. And I actually spend my day pretty wisely, I think. Yeah, get this back up. Yeah, actually today I went out and I went climbing again. And this is, yeah, some of my friends know that I have started climbing, I think about 2 years ago. Mostly bouldering indoor, because we don't have mountains in Holland, and no, the Valsberg doesn't count as a mountain. Yeah, with all the Rona stuff and everything, I didn't get to go out anymore and do it. So now that all that is kind of over, now that at least here we seem to have things somewhat under control and gyms are reopening again, I went out and had a nice session just now, so all my muscles are dead and sore and killed me 10 times over. I had a great day. Let me see, I'm gonna get this one up and running. Yeah, I think that works. This is good. Is it in camera shuffly mode? Let's find out in a second. Yes, there we go. Okay, fantastic. For today's session, I figured I'd hit two birds in one stone with one stone. Because I've been getting some requests from various people, and recently from a friend of mine who just got an ER101, and I got the request that the people actually wanted to see a little bit more of the actual sequencing workflow, and because apparently I've never really explained how much I actually do with this thing, and that got me thinking. I was like, well, actually, I have this second camera angle, which is usually not really doing all that much, but just getting like a sweeping side view of the system. I figured, you know what, for this one, let's do a little bit of a 101 special, and I'll get the camera angle so that people can actually see all the stuff that I'm programming in on this thing. It also means that this session might be a little bit more on the academic side compared to the others, and I am aiming for doing something a little bit more melodic rather than dance floor mode. If this video works out well, I'll probably rename it to the 101 Special or something like that. Let me see. I also just got a bunch of candy from an expat shop. The Americans probably know this thing called toxic waste. Yeah, don't know if you've ever seen it, but apparently it's the most sour stuff in the world. So I'm excited about that. And this sour candy, I found out, kind of helps me stay focused. It's one of those little things where now I'm fighting a candy wrapper right here on stream. It's happening, and I'm losing. Hang on. That's it. Yes. Fuck, that's sour. Alright, good. So yeah, let's have a look. Keeps me focused, indeed. Oh, you want some candy ASMR? Here we go. Oh shit. Yep. Head rush. There we go. Yeah. Who needs amphetamines anyway when we got sugar like this? So let me see. I have an empty system right now. How am I gonna patch it up? I'm gonna multi-clock it. I will simply do this. Yes, okay, that's gonna work. So usually what I have set up here is my circadian rhythm is just my master clock for everything, and this allows me to send swing to the various channels that I have running. The ER101 is a fantastic sequencer in that it brilliantly adapts to any and all clocks that you feed into it, so it has no problem. It has no problem whatsoever with wonkiness and stuff like that, so that's good. I'm just gonna kind of get my bass patch up and running, and then we'll really dive into some things. Oh my god. Oh, that's bad. Hang on. Yep. Hey there, Rosie. Glad you made it again. And I'm doing good. Just getting started with all this. I'm gonna have a look. So, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna do like a full walkthrough of how I connect this thing, more or less, because a big part of the track setup of the ER101, for me at least, it has become a little bit of let me see. I lost what I was saying. Right, yeah, no. With the ER101, I have a very fixed track setup of how I treat certain voices. Like, track number 1 is always going to be my bass line. Track number 2 is always going to be my lead melodies. Track number 3 is always, or is most of the time, is my support melodies in a way. And track 4, most of the time, is random arps and stuff like that. That being said, sometimes I deviate from that, but track 1 and 2, 9 times out of 10, you'll find my bass line on track 1, and you'll find a lead melody on track number 2. Let me see. Now, if I take this track number 1, I'm gonna combine that to my mini mod voice. I've really been enjoying the mini mod bass lines lately, and that's so that is usually my hard patch. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go for a mini mod on track 1. We're gonna go for my trusty Macbeth on track 2. I will hook up the second Macbeth voice to track number 3, and we're gonna figure out something to do with track number 4. Let me see. Am I doing this correctly? Yes, I am. We're gonna get so my regular voice patching, as per usual, is 2 envelopes per synth voice. One envelope is going to the frequency CV in on my filter, and the other is going to the actual VCA for that particular voice. Now let's see. Outputting to a mult, so that I have a drive signal and a wet signal to play with as I please. So here we have one voice hooked up. There. Now let me see. The Macbeth is a lot easier because that really is... let me see. The Macbeth really is just 2 modules. So I hook up the filter to a mult. And you could almost call... No, you wouldn't. Scratch that thought. Let me see. There we go. Saw us going there. And this is going here. Nice. Third voice, we were gonna do another Macbeth voice there. So that's gonna be track number 3. Let me see. CVA. It's going in there. This one's going in here. By the way, did you guys see the Photon stream yesterday? Because there was this guy, what's his name? The first one was playing. Or what is it? The live act. That dude. I'd never heard of him before, but I was actually very, very impressed with what he did. It's that guy, he absolutely destroyed the place. That was brutal. Like shit, what was his name? Let me look up that flyer real quick, because oh, hang on. Photon live. Damn it. Fadi. Yeah, exactly. Fadi was his name. That dude, fucking hell. I'd never heard him or heard of him, but Fadi Mohem, yeah, that was impressive, man. It's I mean, the setup he had in front of him with the 2 Alec tribes, and then he had a single modular case in front of him, and they kept taking shots just of the DJ mixer next to him, which didn't really make sense, because the stuff that he was actually doing, that was sick as all hell. I'm really looking forward to when clubs reopen to see if I can catch a show of that dude, because that was yeah, that was fresh. That was very fresh, and also completely in line with my expectation for how the club scene might evolve over time. I mean, I'm still fully expecting a couple of years from now to have modular systems and live shows like this to be a very, very normal sight in the club scene. Because, come on, that was Yeah, that was brutal stuff. So yeah, if you guys missed that, definitely check that out. It's well worth it. Very well worth your time. Let's see a question here about the vinyls. If I have any news on that. There is some yeah, there's some exciting stuff happening on that front. Namely, now let me see if I'm doing this right. Yeah, sure I'm doing it right. Let's get this somewhere. Yeah, the vinyl news is I had my test pressing last week, and it's sounding awesome. It's really nailing it, and it's like well, yeah, all the full depth of the actual masters is fully there. The guys at the record industry in Harlem, they really know their shit. So they yeah, it's Rinus over there. He really knows how to work this, and he didn't really have to do anything because the guy who mastered everything, Zeno Mickery, he did an amazing job with the mastering, and Zeno in turn was very happy with the way that the mixes worked out, which is Peter, Peter Funk, who's been mixing everything. And well, yeah, at the end you can really hear a massive difference between how everything happened during the stream and the actual final result, the way that it's gonna end up being by the time people actually have it in their hands. I'm super excited about that. It's right now the artwork is also done, just about, and that means that cutting time is happening. Meanwhile, we are already working very hard on the second release. The second master is also done. There's a couple of things that I'm working on for the third release already. Like, seriously, things are kind of, yeah, there's a lot of material to work with, so there's plenty of stuff coming. And I actually got to ask a couple of questions over at the vinyl plant, like, hey, so there's the situation with one of the tracks. It's actually 30 minutes long. Can I do this without too much quality loss? And he said, well, yeah, it kind of depends on the track and what you're gonna do, but silence is good. If it's not too much bass information, then that's also good. Basically anything that doesn't take up too much space on the in the, what's it called, the groove, fuck, forgot the word. Anyway, yeah, if the needle doesn't have to cut too deep and too wide, then things are going to work out. And this particular track, luckily, is probably going to work out just fine. But still, I'm very, very nervous about that one, because I really want that one to be to end up integrally on a vinyl. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see how that's gonna end up going. Do you guys know this, or that thing where half the time you are kind of just forgetting the words that you're trying to speak as you're speaking them? Because I've been having that a lot lately, so if I'm stuttering and stuff like that, then it's probably because I'm just trying to scrape open my brain to find the last couple of words to actually form a sentence. But that's where the sour candy comes in very handy. Let me see, this goes here, this goes here. Most of the time happens to me all the time. Fantastic. Well, that's good. If you make the grooves too wide, they won't all fit. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the thing that we really had to take care of with these things. The current release has no problem with that whatsoever. There's one track on the second release I might be a little bit worried about if that's all gonna fit, because one of those tracks is a bit on the long side at 20 minutes, 22 minutes even. So we're just gonna see if that's gonna work out. Other than that, all the other tracks are gonna fit just right. I am still a little bit on the fence how many of these things I'm actually gonna print. I'm gonna also make everything available digitally, all the mixes and stuff like that. I won't be doing that until the vinyl is out there, though, simply because I don't want to spoil the surprise and all that. But yeah, there's interesting stuff happening on that front, and it's taking more time than I thought it would. But that's also I kind of underestimated the whole thing of, you know what, let's try and mix and print everything. That's, yeah, that has proven to be quite ambitious. And it's like I can probably not even afford to print more than 3 releases at a time, and then we'll have to wait before I can do the 4th. But we're gonna make it work, and I'm super excited about, yeah, sharing this with you guys and seeing your reactions to what we have actually made of it, because yeah, it's gonna be fucking awesome, that's for sure. Let's have a look. Yeah, Tidal. I'm very impressed with Tidal lately. That's what I'm seeing here. HRC Image is talking about Tidal as a music service. Lately, I've been kind of digging into my listening setup, and one of the things is that I was really looking for the good quality, like really proper quality music playing, and platforms and stuff like that. And I was quite shocked when I looked at Spotify and how much to actually compress the actual tracks at the end. Like, even when you go to high quality. Wow, Frank, fucking awesome! Thank you so much, dude. Oh, still no Ravens. What did they do wrong? You know what? We're gonna do a Raven special next. It's right now I'm gonna focus full on the ER101. I feel that one is this is what I can really comfortably show you guys what I'm doing with it. Next time, let's really dig into the Raven and get some good and nice surprises out of it. But you're definitely right. I keep on kind of pushing those to the side. I'm gonna make up for it, though. Let's just wait and see. Anyway, Spotify. That's I was quite shocked with how much they actually reduce the audio the audio rate when you're playing back on their platform. Like 320 kilobits at high quality, I believe it is, which sounds alright until you realize that like when you're playing stuff at actual quality, you're more in the region of something like 4,000 to 6,000 kilobit playback. And yeah, then there's and usually it's in all the small details, well, like all the boring stuff. It's not like you're hearing like weird jitter and stuff like that, but the things that get sacrificed first is things like soundstage and depth and all that stuff. Like how big do things really present themselves, and all the tiny little details that really make up for the entire track. And that's that was something when I started up Tidal and listened to that one. I was very happy to see how yeah, like I was really very happy to see how much how respectfully they treat the actual recordings. And well, yeah, of course you can go for an even higher membership account with them than usual and get like full master quality full master quality stuff, which sounds a bit weird at first when you're thinking about it, like, well, yeah, play it the way that the master engineers intended it. Well, that's exactly what you're getting back at home, is what they intended it to be. Except when you then think about streaming services and the hand they have in the final thing that you're listening to. And then all of a sudden, uncompressed, or at least no extra meddling in the final thing that you're listening to, becomes quite awesome. Let's see. Let me see. Well, how much does Tidal cost? It depends. I believe if you're going really for Tidal Masters, which is the final tier where you get all the goodness and they make all the images black and white and they give you like the velvet treatment and stuff like that, then you're paying something like $20 a month, I believe. But like the regular account is, I believe, 10. Yeah, it's I got it and I figured it was quite worth it. That being said, there's a high chance that you're not gonna get the difference unless you have proper playback. Like, it really is one of those rabbit hole things. Like, I've been diving a little bit into things like headphones and amps and stuff like that, and then at some point it really starts paying off. But there's a very, very hard chance that that's not going to be your bottleneck. So don't go spending out if you're then going to play it back through your phone converter or whatever. But yeah. Anyway, that was my Tidal rant, I guess. Let's see. What did I do here? Why do I keep doing this? These two channels are going here. I'm almost done setting all this up, by the way. I have these two going here. And this. Why are you there? That's not good. This is better. Nice. Let's have a look. So meanwhile, I patched up the 4 voices. We're gonna do a slight tuning run in a second. Let's see, sync this up. Sync this up. All right. Yeah. What's the name again of the Spotify podcast? It's probably called Modular Mayhem. I haven't updated it at all. I haven't updated the Spotify in quite some time, though. I was really working on that first, but then at some point I figured, like, hey, you know, this is not the best way to actually do it, because I kept running into the thing that I was releasing tracks without actually properly mixing and mastering them and stuff like that, and that really kind of bummed me out. Like, there's got to be a better way. When I was listening back to just the 2-track recordings, that it was not the quality that I wanted to give you all. So I kind of stopped updating the podcast series. And I'll probably start updating the podcast again once I get some more good mixes of everything coming in. Or when I know that there's stuff that I'm, oh, why are you going there? That's not good. Hey, that sounds like a bass. Sounds like a lot of bass. That's interesting. Why? Oh, that's because there's an offset there. That makes sense. Okay, good. Yeah, but let me see Spotify. I'm probably, once I start releasing all the vinyl tracks and stuff like that, I'm gonna pick some good spots where you can listen to it properly. But yeah, we're gonna do that post everything. Now, I see a question here. Have you tried routing it through like a digital mixer like a Q32? Actually, the mixer that I have here, which you're not seeing, I have an SSL XL desk sitting here, which is my my main mixing board. And it's not so much the audio quality there, as it's more the fact that I don't, that I can't really focus on making a proper mix of everything when I'm recording things. So the mix I have here is functional. It's very functional for me to hear everything that I need to hear while making music. But it's not a musical mix. It's like there's so much more you can do with dynamics and stuff like that, or when you're mixing for impact, and there's everything, the way we're listening to it right now is really the bare minimum of acceptable quality that you should be getting from this. Like in a properly worked out mix, everything just comes to life so much more. And but that takes more attention to detail. Like if you get a good result just in a single pass, imagine how great it's gonna sound if you actually take the time working through it. And that's just with everything. I just want to give as much attention to all the small details as there's attention for actually making the recording the music itself. So that's why I multi-track everything, so that later on in the process we can just lay everything down and really really get busy on a proper mix. Let me see, I'm just gonna find a couple of these longer black cables. Yeah, but that's also when I announced the podcast series. And did I read correctly just now that someone actually found the stream through the podcast first? Because that would be fucking awesome. Like, it's I kind of expected that only people who saw the streams would later on check out one or two of the podcast episodes, but then ultimately already be coming from the stream. But if there's people who came here from the podcast primarily, that's sick. Let me see. This is this one here. Let me see. Let me see another question here. What do you use to multi-track? What I'm using, yeah, I'm using an SSL desk for multi-tracking compared with paired up with. Right now, I have an RME converter for everything, and I used to have a Burl mothership converter for all this, but I didn't feel comfortable having that here because, well, yeah, those of you who recall the early days of the modular lockdown sessions know that I blew up my converter the very first day I had it here, so I didn't manage to actually record anything for the first 2 weeks. But let me see. Yeah, right now I have an RME here, and once I have my studio back, I'm probably gonna go back back with my Burl converter. because it just gives that slight extra edge. I'm actually still I'm kind of in doubt, by the way, whether or not I should stick with the burl or if I should go for the DSD or what is it, DAD converter. It's like both are fantastic, but the burl has is kind of transformer based. Like it has a lot of coloring and character on the input signal, which is amazing in some cases, but also gives you a little bit more of a laziness or something. I'm not entirely sure how to say that. Whereas the DAD, from what I've heard, it's way cleaner and therefore also a little bit dull in a way. I don't know how to properly say that. But yeah, that's gonna be something for later, I guess. Let's see, because I think I have some things here. Let's just, you know what? I'm gonna stick to the sequencer view for a little bit so that we can actually have a look and see what this is doing. It's unpaused. That's good. Oh, wait. Nice. So, let me not forget to actually connect the gates. Right, okay, so just about everything there was my hand, manually playing around with it, but, well, at least that's working. That's good. Let's go for the second voice, see what this one is doing. Okay, that's good. Let's... Okay, nice. I'm gonna delete that for a sec. Let's have a listen. Track number 3. What are you doing? You're way soft. Is that because there is no... Oh no, there is something going on here. That's on the mixing desk. Number 7, 500 series. Oh, there we go. I think that's good. Nice. And track number 4. I have no clue what this is gonna do. Oh, that's not bad. Awesome. So we have space. Basically, that's what this comes down to. Let me see. Now I want to make sure that I have my 2 tracks, track 1 and 2, in the right place. What are you? Why are you in the bottom one? That's not the way it's supposed to be. There we go. Okay. Nice. Okay, so all this is in place. Now let's have a look. So for everyone who is coming in late to the party right now, welcome. I'm just done patching everything up, and this is gonna be an ER101 special. Yes, that's right, an ER101 special, where this camera is mostly focused right now on my ER101, the trusty steed, and this is my main workstation for everything. Like 9 times out of 10 when I'm hunched over here, this is what I'm playing with. And this is, in my opinion, one of the best things that ever happened for the modular world, because it gave us a piano roll sequencer in a time when everything we had was itty-bitty step sequences and stuff like that. And I know with the ER101, there is people who absolutely love it and just glue with it right away. There's people who give it like 1 or 2 tries and then go like, I don't get it, it's not for me. And then there is also people who I would think would really benefit from something like this, but they need just a little bit of convincing to actually go here, because ultimately, I'm not gonna lie, this is, in my book, this is an end game sequencer, and this is probably even if it wasn't a eurorack thing, I would still probably be using this for all my other CV gear and whatsoever. Like, there's a lot of people who love the Circlon, for example, and while yeah, all the love and respect to Circlon, and the Sequentix P3, which is what I used to own before. I actually lost it. I think someone borrowed that thing from me and never gave it back. But the Sequentix P3 was fantastic, and then the Circlon was awesome. But this thing is so incredibly deep and ballsy and fantastic, and just all the right things in your hand with just 2 controls, that yeah, I don't know, this literally made me change my career from a conductor to full-on modular synthesist, because this was the bridge that connected what I knew of music with everything that I wanted to explore with music. And that's something that yeah, that's something when an instrument achieves something like that, it's worth your attention. I guess. So let's have a look. Now I see a question here. Colin, can you compare it to the Eloquencer? Yeah, the Eloquencer is awesome. Eloquencer is super cool, super deep, a great module. At first I thought it would almost be a 101 killer, but there is the one thing I kind of felt with the Eloquencer is that it kind of combines 2 worlds and makes concessions to both in a certain way. Like the Eloquencer is an amazing trigger sequencer, and it also does CV, and it does great things for enabling you to do melodic things and everything. But the thing that got in my way was that interfacing with it, it continuously had me scratching my head when I wanted to do a certain thing, because of the way it expected me to actually program it and play with it. And that was kind of one of those things where ultimately I prefer having a trigger sequencer and a CV sequencer versus having both in one unit where I kind of have to trick around it. But the Eloquencer definitely is an amazing sequencer for when you're looking to do both and don't want to sacrifice so much space, for example, as having something this big next to a circadian rhythm, next to a bunch of other stuff. And that's that's probably then that's probably a good words, whatever, you get the drill. Now, sequencers that would compare to this, I hear someone saying the Vector. Sure, that's that would be a very fair comparison. The Nerdsack thing, because of how deep it actually goes and is. the Circlon is what people already said and mentioned. Personally, for me, what I picture most of all when I'm playing with this thing is if you've ever played with Ableton Live or Logic or anything like that. For me, it comes the closest to the actual, just the simple piano roll sequencer that you have there. When you open up a MIDI cube and you start playing around with tracks and you make your note length and you set your pitch and stuff like that, this is actually that thing. And I just keep on visualizing this piano roll just rolling by everything. The only downside is that you can only see one note at a time, but you can yeah, but your memory will help you out with that, like knowing what your note order is. Like, for example, if I were to do, let me see, I'm just gonna do just a scale of C, you know? And we're gonna follow it, so now you can see it. Now let's say I wanted to manipulate this scale a bunch of times. Like, let's say right now it's an 8 note loop. I'm gonna make it a 16 note loop. I'm gonna do the second time, I'm going up to a G. But maybe it's more fun to have it be a 32 note loop. So let's go for that. And now I'm gonna do it so that on the 32nd note, it jumps up an octave. So that's fun. Now let's copy this track and copy it over to, for example, let me see, track number 2. And now I have 2 tracks playing the same thing, only at different starting positions, which is also fun to play with. Like, let's do some micro shifting, for example. And now one sequence is running at 32 steps and the other's playing at 31. You know, it's just small things like this with, well, hang on, let me get this right. There we go. There we go. It's just incredibly speedy playing around with this thing. So that's what I really like about it. I just went full on demo mode for a second. Hang on. Sour candy. I think I'm gonna burn a hole in my mouth with how much acid like there's in this thing. Hang on. Sweet. There you go. Can do the same speed on a Circlone. Yeah, true. You can also do the same thing at the same speed on Ableton or on a piano with 4 hands. And that's not really the point. The point is that what I really like about this is the particular way how this is set up in this one. And that's I don't know. There, for me, it kind of hits all the marks of what I'm looking for when I'm looking for a sequencer like this. So let's just see if we can do something like this. Let me see. Tuning is gonna be something I need to fix on this one. Let's see. I'm gonna set a reset point for now. Can you make microtonal scales in it? Yep, you can. You can actually set and pick if you want to go for a 12-tone scale or 24-tone scale, pentatonic scale, 22-tone something, I don't know what that is, blue scale. You can make your own user tables in it. I'm usually just in chromatic mode because I kind of feel comfortable on just a chromatic scale with this. That you can basically pick and place any scale that you enjoy playing with, and then work from there on. For those of you who remember the stream in Vistalord with Niels, I think the last track we did was the tremendous banger thingy. That was let me see. That one was all done with quarter notes, so all microtonal stuff. Anyway, now there is one thing that really is with the 101 is it is not the type of sequencer like with a regular step sequencer or something like that, like Metropolis is very forgiving, like Metropolis with a quantizer or something like that is very forgiving in just having a step and immediately getting into a drone kind of thing. The ER101 does expect you a little bit to have a certain idea of what you want to do rhythmically and melodically. But the good thing is that it allows you to go very, very far in what you want to do with that. So I would kind of say this is just about the opposite of something like a Turing machine, where you just go for fully random and it gives you stuff that you like. This one is very, very focused and surgical in what you want to play with it. And, well, yeah, that's... I kind of like that. Let me finish this candy. Let's see, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take away this resets. Let's fire up the other one as a support melody. Let me fire up the reset for that. So I'm gonna offset it so that it starts slightly later. And a different pitch. Nice. There we go. Alright, of course, that's the one thing that's happening now. Okay, so I wanted to shift that other melody by 8 pulses, but then I need to shorten the final note with the same amount of time. Otherwise it keeps shifting non-stop. See? This goes down. Man, double Macbeth. So much fun. Let's see. And now we're just gonna make an arpeggio line on track number 4. Let's see. Okay, that ARP is working. The only thing is that I started it at the right now, due to the reset, it's starting at the coolest 2 notes. So I need to let me see, shift it accordingly. Now it's an 8, no, it's 10 notes. There we go. Now it's an 8-note sequence, but I want to move it slightly, so I'll make it a 32. We're gonna make a variation for the second 32, and we're gonna do that by going, instead of D sharp to C, we're gonna take it to F to B. Okay, so I changed up the second ARP with a couple of different notes, so we have some variation going on there. Let me reset it and play it out. Okay, that's nice. Definitely that the Macbeth is out of tune right now. I'm gonna have to tune it in a little bit, but this is working. This 5-note bass line here. Right now the ARP shifts after 32 pulses. So to make sure that the bass line shifts at the same pulse, let's add up the math here. And this is 8 plus 8 plus 8 and 2 times 4. So 4 times 8 basically is 32 notes pulse length for this one. Now let's take this and we're gonna are we going for an inverted bass line or a regular bass line? Let's go for a regular bass line first, see how that sounds. And then we can always... Oh, here, that's where we're gonna... And then the second one, we're gonna make it a regular bass line. Okay, there we go. That's powerful. I like that. Let's have a look. There we go. Tune the Macbeth a little bit. Oh no, I did not tune the Macbeth. Holy shit, that's bad. Hang on, let me... So what's going on here? My 2 Macbeths are in tune with each other. That's nice. But how is the bass line? Bassline is also acceptable, so it's mostly... Okay. Fair enough. Okay, I'm gonna grab a tuner later on. Let's see. What we have right now is a bass line, or what is it, a chord scheme, which is more or less repeating C minor to G, with a B in the bass, and then back to C minor to G major. Now, are we going Bach? Let me see. We're probably gonna go full on classical on this one. I kind of think that's a good idea. Let's see how far we can take this. In that case, I need to make that G more dramatic. Okay, and I know how I'm gonna do that. And we're gonna... Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna walk around a little bit with these chords. We're gonna see where we're gonna end up. All right. So, what I have now is this. I'm gonna copy this pattern. I'm gonna math this pattern, and I want to shift just that track. And I want to shift everything a whole note down. Did I just do that? Or did I not do that? No, I did not do that. No, I did it. But did I only do it for the first note? No. It could very well be that I messed something up just now. Let's have a listen. You know what? I'm gonna do it manually. That's a better idea. Okay, so let me clear this pattern. And we're gonna go, see. I wanna copy 5 notes. We're gonna go, let's have a look. We're gonna shift down a whole note, and then we're gonna go to right. Okay, so that's gonna loop around. That's a good idea. Then we're gonna go to G sharp major Yep, okay. And I'm gonna take these notes and do something funny with it. Let's have listened just to... Oh, did I mess up? I probably did. Hey, that is not correctly. We need one section in between. Where are you? Ah, right. Why did you move to the end? Let's have a look. You're going in here. Okay, let's have a look. Listen. I'm gonna follow this note so that we can actually... Here, you can read the score basically. Now we're gonna go to F, G sharp, and we're gonna loop back to the start. So that's basically the idea right now, is we're gonna go from G minor to what is it? C minor to G major with a B in the bass, back to C minor to G major. Then we're gonna go to B flat. Can go either minor or major, to F minor major, to A flat. Well, it's always gonna be G sharp in here. Minor or major to G 7 with, and then we're gonna be looping back. So let's start off with the ARP, so that we have a proper feel. So we have a proper feel of what's going on. And we were doing arpeggios on this track, and it's 64 steps. So let's make a new pattern. So we can now decide if we're going for major first or minor first. I am thinking minor is more interesting, because that's a hard reset and a hard break from C minor. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Because if you're looking at the scales, like C minor and B flat major are more closely related than C minor and B flat minor. So yeah, let's just go from minor to minor. Yeah, that's gonna work out. For everyone tuning in, today is turning out to be a sequencer special. More in the academic series than my regular music streams. So this is a little bit more geared towards fellow musicians out there. I guess. Is this what it needs to be? Okay, I think it is. Okay. 30. This is gonna be. Wait. It's not 64 steps of pattern 1, it's 128 steps of pattern 1. So I need to insert this. There we go. Crisis averted. Second chord was B flat, F. Okay, so we're going to F. F major is the thing we're going to next. So I need to. Let's see. Mm-hmm. This is an interesting progression. C. F. C. Let's do this. I'm gonna add another pattern. Let's have a look. And let's see if this is gonna work. And then we're going for okay, I'm not sure if this ARP melody is the most prettiest one in the universe, but we're just gonna fly with it and see what it does. Let's play around. See what this does. Just bass line and ARP. The last one is not working for me. So we're gonna play around with that and make sure that it does work. That high G is where things get messed up. So hang on, I'm just gonna fix that on the fly. that's good. Now the melody, those 4 notes. We're gonna copy this. Let's see, what was the melody doing again? Let's have this. Okay, I get that. So we're gonna copy this pattern, and basically all we have to do is shift it down a whole note, and then it's gonna fit, I think, with everything. Let's just give it a try. But I'm not sure. So let's have a listen. And also, it's out of tune. Nope. Right, okay, I know what, we need to shift those down 1 more note, so that's good. Let's have a look. No, that note is not it. This needs to be an F, I think. That's gonna solve my qualms. I do like the drop down. That's fun. And also, Quantum, thank you for reminding me. I hit follow now so that you can read along with it. Again, to figure out what you are reading here on this screen. Here you can actually see the notes that are being played. The number here indicates the octave which we're in, and the letters, this is D and a half, literally. So D sharp or E flat, depending on whether or not we're using stuff, whatever. Yeah, so what you're reading there, this is the duration. What I do is I use 1 clock for everything, so everything is following on 16th pulses. Now, so when I'm reading here, 32 is basically 32 times 16th, 16th 8 notes, 8 quarter notes. So this is 2 measures. That's what this comes down to. So once you start translating it in your mind like that, like, okay, so 32 16th notes is, or 16 16th notes would make up for a full measure. So 32 was 2 measures. And then from there on, you can kind of start piecing everything along. Like, yeah, you're reading this score. Like, you have the D sharp for 2 measures. You have the D for 1.5 measure. And then you have the C for half a measure, making up another 2 measures in total. And this one is 4 measures. So this would make 8 measures from start to finish. And then the next pattern is another 8 measures, making this a 16 measure loop. Or yeah, basically Basically, this is 16 bars in total that we're playing with. Anyway. That's big and dramatic. Let's see. I'm forgetting the second voice over here, which also needs to be a part of this loveliness. So, you were 5 notes. Let's just copy it in. Now I'm gonna match this last note so that you don't have weird drops when it cycles to a new note. This is this gonna work? Let's listen. See what it does. That's working, I think. Just that one. This one. It's just gonna be an F. That's better. And things are starting to get a little bit too much out of tune for my liking right now. Also, these two Macbeths can use the same effects settings or effects routing. So let me get that sorted. This one gets its own channel. You go over here, you go over there. This is channel 1, channel 3. Okay. Good. I think let me find my tuner. Hang on a second. This is driving me nuts. Where is that thing? see. I found a tuner. Ah. That's nice. That's better. There I am. Yep. There and back again. I have this. And I have a tuner. No, please make me happy. Oh, there we go. So, meanwhile, I hope you guys are kind of seeing my 101 workflow properly now, because this is usually this is the part that no one really gets to see when I'm playing with the 101, is what I'm really doing with it, because I have nothing pointing at it or I'm physically blocking it, but it's such a hugely important unit, you know. Let's see if I have this part tuned now. Let me cut the bass and cut this part, and we're gonna just listen to. Okay, that seems to work. Let me tune the bass. Ooh, what the hell? There's something so dirty in there. Ugh. But I think that's a... that might very well be a calibration issue. Oh, man. What is that? Ooh, okay. Let's go to town on this thing, because this is not... That's better. Okay, that's better. Nice. This I can't work with. Dude. Anders Wickholm. There's something dirty in there. Thank you so much, dude. Very much appreciated. Very nice one. Ah, I like that. Thank you for that. Your support is very much appreciated and will be feeding into my modular addiction quite a bit. Thank you for enabling me. You're the best. Feed me crack. Let's see, what is this one doing? This oscillator is having a bad day. A very bad day. Why are you not tracking? Why are you not tracking? There we go. Slightly. Slightly. Okay, good. Now, nobody breathe. Hey, bro. I got some sec for you. Nice. Let's play around with this, see what it does. Ah. What will I do when I run out of rack space since Jan doesn't want to build any more cases? Yeah, that's gonna... I may cry when that happens. But the good thing is I still have a bunch of spare cases to fill. And I still have my old racks, which is good. And I might just go do for monster case or something. That might work. Let me see. Maybe you can use the longer cable for the gate of track 3. Yeah, you're right. Let me see. It's this one, right? That's the culprit. Let me fix that for you and get it out of the way. That's better. Let's have a look. So we have this. And I got this, and I got this. So, let's go. This and this. Looking good. Now, let me see. We're gonna loop back to the C, to the first pattern. More candy. I'm gonna get myself into a sugar rush of the ages. See. Yeah, you know, it's like the whole point of this camera angle and the fact that we're showing only this right now is so you guys can actually read along with what's going on the 101. Here's another cool thing. Let's do this right now. I'm gonna make this into a part. I'm gonna call this part 1. Let's just go for the first couple of steps. So, you see over here, can you guys actually see the, yeah, you can see that. Okay, that's awesome. Because this is where the ER102 comes in super handy. And if it only had this one function, it would already be worth its money. Like, what we have going here, parts, is reset markers. So, let's start. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna set the endpoint right here. So every time when it hits step number 5, it's gonna end, it's gonna loop back to its reset point, and we're back in the game. So let's do the same here. Let's see, what's the good looping point? Let's take just this first passage. Reset 2, track 2, start, reset 2, end right there. And track 4, I want you to reset 2, and 8 step later, I want you to end it right there. So there we go. Now, for part 2, I'm going to use different loop points. I'm going to loop pattern 1, start, resets, oh, wait, an end. I think that's, yep, that's the right loop point. Track 2, same thing. We're going to start, reset, end. Track 3, we're going to start, reset, and end. And track 4 has its pattern. Yep, so we're going to start, reset, and end. Now, part 3, this always takes a little bit of setup time, so track 3, we're gonna actually loop everything we have so far. So we're gonna end it right here. Track 2, start, reset, end. Track 3, start, reset, end. Track 4, we're gonna start, reset, end. There we go. So now watch this. I'm gonna play around with these. Let me see. This is working properly. Last. Nice. You see, I can make you read along with it. Guys already noticing what's going on? Okay, I'm gonna fire up part 2. Back to part 1. Let's play part 2 again. Oh. I'm gonna hop over to part number 3. Okay, let me line it up so you guys see when it happens. It'll stop blinking when part 3 actually hits. Like I said, it's gonna loop the full thing. We're going to the B part. I'm gonna go back to my buffer, part 1. You see, this is basically giving me some real-time arrangement tools where I can kind of group certain sections and loop them at will, like Yeah, what I usually do is my part 1, I make it a small slide loop point, something which you can just zone out on for a little bit. And then kind of like opening up a curtain is my part 2, where you kind of peek into the rest of it. And then part 3 is where you can really go and open up and do the full loop point and stuff like that, like kind of like a chorus. Part 4, we can do something completely unexpected and go in a different direction. Could you also sequence the patterns? Well, yeah, you can. You can actually line them up in such a way that those patterns or those pattern parts will play out. That's actually what this screen over here is. From what I understand, you can actually line up your parts so that they automatically trigger and play how you want. But I don't really use that. Mainly because I never really needed it. Oh yeah, and then of course, but yeah, you can actually, line up all those parts and trigger them in a certain sequence so that you almost have like an arrange window, which is cool. But I never really used that, so I wouldn't really be able to tell you how. Is it possible to save all this stuff on an SD card or something? Yep. You have the storage card right there, which allows you to save all the sequences that you make. Like here, let's take a snapshot. H number 3. I like that. H3. Boom, saved. And now I can load up. Let's load up anything else, like H0. What was this? I have no clue. I don't remember what. No clue what that was, but I made that sometime. Let's load up this one, see what this track is. G3. Load it up. No fucking clue. F. Oh, that's an empty track, I think. F4. What are you? That was random as shit. That's random as shit. Oh wow, it actually is playing something. But yeah, as you can tell... Oh wow. This is one of the Whistler tracks, I believe. But yeah, it's basically there's a ton of random things and patterns that I have saved up in this ER101, and as soon as I think like, hey, this is cool, let me save it so I'll use it later, I hit save, and then I never touch it again because it's more fun making something new than it is to open it up again. But I believe I actually have an entire when I played with the Metropole Orchestra, I loaded up everything that I wanted to play in this ER101, and I could just load up the sequences that I had there and then play them out while controlling the entire system. So it's giving me a lot of freedom of moving around with things without needing to really use a computer for whatsoever. So, and we're back. Now, swing options is what you're talking about. Now, there's a couple of ways how you can swing it. Like the ER101, as far as I can tell, there's no internal clock. But it loves external clock. Like, literally anything you throw at it, it will groove at it. So, for example, here, let's take... let's do something. I'm just gonna take anything here, like... Do I have an oscillator of sorts? Like, when I did the clocks video, I was using a Macbeth, which is total overkill for this, so let's... Is there... Ah, here, this goes in LFO mode. That's good, I think. Let's see if this is actually running in a useful clock. Yeah, so you see, it's really anything you throw at it, it will clock it properly. Now, here, the way the ER101 treats each and every one of its steps is you have a note duration, and then you have the gate duration, and these are two separate parameters. The cool thing about that is that basically it's treating note duration, or step duration, is what you should picture as the active part of the note combined with the passive part of the note, so where it's not doing anything. And then you can set how long of that duration you're actually gonna have the gate be high by playing around with this. And that way you can basically stretch. Let me see. You can stretch out your sustains as long as you want. That way, up to the range where the sustain outlives the actual step length. And you can just basically play around with that and kind of make irregular gate lengths that way. It is, yeah, usually that's something I try to do a little bit, but I don't really pay too much attention to how long my gates are. But there is a ton of depth in there, so if you want to, you can really do that. Some kind of aftertouch mechanism, yeah. I think you could call it that. It's but it's, well, actually, it's more like when you're keeping down your note, or when you're keeping down a key, then a note or a melody will react differently to it than when you just have your decay open for a very long time. Like, let's do that on the main melody. I'm gonna close down this filter real quick. Now, here, for example, I've done that. If we're gonna listen to the main line, let's start that. Oh yeah, of course, I pulled out the actual clock. I'm gonna... Here, so now I have my sustain full on open. And there's no decay on it whatsoever. If I close my sustain a little bit, yeah, you'll see in this case, like, the sustain level is how loud the note is actually gonna play out. The decay is gonna probably give us a bump on top of that. Yeah, there we go. If I open up the decay, but the note is still being played in the background. Yeah, stuff like that. This is, yeah, you can really just program your melodies in depth this way by altering your actual gate length and stuff like that on top of just your notes or step durations and stuff like that. And just a single trigger is going to respond differently than a full-on high stretched note, really. So it's yeah, I guess that's what this comes down to. What else? Well, it's I kind of think that this is basically my main flow with this thing. Now I kind of feel like I need to finish this track, but I'm somewhat running out of time for right now. You know what? One of the coming days, I'm gonna fire up the stream and we're gonna pick up where we left off with this one. I'm gonna, because I feel like this progression itself, yeah, there's a ton of stuff I can do with this. So I just wanna let's have a look. Come on, Mr. Mustache, do something quick. Dance, monkey dance. Nope. Tonight was an academy session. I'm calling it. If I'm gonna head off from this point to doing something else, then we're gonna be patching for another 5 hours or something like that. And I don't think the other people living in my house are gonna appreciate me doing that. That being said, I do feel like I want to push through. So, yeah, I'm gonna pick another day for the coming week to continue some stuff, and we're gonna go deeper on it, and play around with stuff. Let me see. Yep. I think I'm quite happy with this stuff. I hope you guys had... yeah, I hope for those of you who were wondering about the 101, that this was somewhat... I don't know, maybe it clarified some points on it. And... yeah, good stuff in general, I guess. Thank you all for being here tonight. And next week we're gonna rock out again and do some more groovy stuff. Awesome. Thanks, people. We'll see you all next time. And oh yeah, drop by in the Discord and stuff like that, because that's where all the fun stuff is still happening. I mean, every time when I log in and look in over there, it's yeah, that just makes me super happy to see how all the activity there is still going strong. Personally, I've not been logging in as much lately because there's been so much stuff going on in the background. Like the vinyl things, the artwork things, the just general survival things. Like I'm basically making a full-on career switch right now for a couple of things, and it's like with not being able to really play live, all of a sudden there's all the time in the world and new things that I need to venture. But But yeah, the Discord has still been rocking out and going strong. I see now that we're actually at the 4,000 member celebration points, which is seriously insanely awesome. Holy shit, guys. We got 4,000 modular nerds in one room and still going strong, so that's fucking awesome. Congratulations, everyone. Yeah, people. Good times. Next week we're gonna party again. And we'll see what happens. Right. Lovely people. See you on Discord. Later.